welcome back to game number 2 of tonight's Riot Duo Scrims. We are now in Miramar, the Sand map, and we are watching team number 3, Riot Mystic and Riot Ghost. Now, as mentioned in game number 1, we are doing a most wanted style play tonight, and the most wanted player is Fuji of Salty Snakes. He was taken down by the Juicy team in game number 1, and as a result they won a bonus 4 points, so another 4 points will be up for grabs in game number 2. Now we have the right team of team 3 just jumping at San Martin, and they have team 13 Zen Venom and Missy just at 310 to the left of them, and they are now taking on with Right Mystic being hit by Missy, and Missy is knocked by Mystic. And that is Missy taken down by Riot Mystic there, leaving Zen Venom, the last remaining member of Team 13. Grenades are being thrown by Riot Ghost at the moment. And Zen Venom has just pushed back. Ooh, a well thrown molly. And although it didn't hit him, I could not have thrown that any better myself. And now Venom is rotating right, is in the apartment at 310 Northwest, and is on the second floor, just scoping in towards the building at 205. We have Red Lixie, who takes down Sirius of Salty Snakes on the left hand side, and Oxmo jumps in to get the kill. And let's have a quick look as to where our most wanted player is, and he is at Chumacera right now with no teams really near to him, so they should be safe for the time being. I think they will most likely be at risk from Team 5 Riot and Team 28 DSE, with RKS Bobo getting a knock on Riot Panda with grenade. So let's jump over to Team 28 to see what is going on. Now it seems to have quietened down for the DSE team. So for now, let's go over to Team 11. And we've just seen Riot Mystic finally take down Zen Venom down at San Martin. So that is the Riot team of Team 3 with 2 kills so far. And Little Vlad is now scoping in on Oxmo of Team 19. Who is just down the hill, and Bad Boy gets a knock on Gem Raven and gets the kill. And Little Vlad is firing towards Oxmo with a Winchester 94. Now, the Salty Snakes team of team number 9 have started to move away from Chumacera, heading towards team 20, RKS Bobo and 7A Kenzo. So they may be in store for a fight very shortly, with DSC of team 28 to their right, along with team 25 Jen. And there are a few other teams clustered together at El Pozo for the time being. Hopefully they will start moving in too. And now we see the first zone of game number 2. It's still roughly centre, with Los Leones just off centre, but the nearest centre point we can mark for the time being. We have 3 teams there for the time being. And Legolas takes down Rhymes Vibe and Level 1 Bunny with an Uzi. And we now see Team 15 RPG and Team 32 Zen stuck inside the red zone. So let's go over to Alex. Now, Alex and Ryder are doing the right thing by staying inside when the red zone is upon them. And they will want to let that pass before making a move, but Alex has decided to risk it. And here come the explosions. And she just manages to make it inside another building, but it's out again. And we have Team 31 of Zen, Nemris and AOD Nix driving by, moving towards 230. And a 7A Kenzo gets the knock and kill on Jen Spook as RKS takes down Jen Chezak. And we're now going to go straight for team number 9, Avery and Fuji, as they move in towards team 20 of RKS Bobo and 7A Kenzo. And that is Juicy who gets the kill on Kenzo, with Avery getting the kill on RKS Bobo. Now, Juicy will know exactly where team number 9 are, and they will want to try and get themselves another 4 bonus points, having successfully taken down Fuji in game number 1. Now, keep in mind, despite the fact that Fuji is the most wanted player for this game, he's also out there to win this game too. So can't realistically just go and hide. He will need to keep fighting and try and get those kills himself. Now the Juicy team have stopped and have left their vehicle. Avery is looting a box, as is Fuji. Grenades are still being thrown, and if Avery was not careful, that could have been him knocked. Now Avery is throwing a smoke whilst more grenades are thrown at team 34. And the Juicy team are now back inside their vehicle and moving away towards northwest. They're just rotating round to the right hand side as DSE John gets the kill on Jen Nick. And there is a flare drop which holds an M249 and a WM. And unfortunately that grenade just doesn't get it off enough. But Avery is preparing another. And again, it just doesn't get the hit that it needs. Oh, and Fuji is knocked by Juicy again for a second time round. More shots are coming in. And that is Fuji revived by Avery. And it's unfortunate for the Salty Snakes team that Juicy just have the height on them at the moment. And Fuji gets a knock on one of the Juicy team. They now start pushing up. And Avery is preparing a grenade to go towards the Juicy team. Team 34, it just misses. And they have now sped off in their vehicle and being fired at by Avery and possibly Juicy. And they get out of the vehicle again. And Juicy is taken down by Avery. Wow, and Fuji gets the kill there. So that is another 2 kills for the Salty Snakes team. And they manage to hold their 4 points for the time being, with Fuji remaining alive. And they're now healing, and a flare has just gone up towards 120 southeast. And now if we look at the zone, we can see that Team 5 Riot and Zen Nemris are relatively close together, with Goddess facing them but choosing not to fire. And Zen Nemris and Zen Missy have split up, and they are sandwiching Team 5. And Reigns gets the knock on Nemris, which means that Missy will now have to do a full rotation just to try and get back to Nemris. Sorry, it's not Missy, it is AOD Nyx. I do apologise. Missy is with Venom. And here come the grenades and mollies being thrown by AOD Nyx. And Goddess and Reigns are throwing them right back. And Goddess just tried to get a shot in, but the angle was just a bit off. Nyx is almost being taken down. We have Avery and Fuji just pushing in, trying to third party AOD Nyx there. And AOD Nyx is taken down by Salty Snake's Avery, which now tells Reigns and Goddess that Fuji is nearby. And that is Fuji destroying their vehicle, with Reigns and Goddess returning fire. Avery almost not there, but just managing to use some bandages in time. And Avery is almost knocked again, as is Reigns. And Avery throws down a couple of smokes just so that he can push forward towards the car, and hopefully then he'll be able to use a grenade or two. And Alex is knocked by Pendevious, and Salty Snakes is now using that pickup to move to a new location, leaving Goddess and Reigns remaining at that compound. And due to the smokes being thrown, Goddess and Reigns do not know that team number 9 has moved, so they may now start wasting their grenades because nobody is there to receive them. And let's now have a look at the zone, which we haven't done much of for this game, but it has moved east, leaving Minas Generalis and La Bendita in the game. We have a fair few teams, more on the far left-hand side at west, who will need to start moving their way in. We have FE, the FE Tau team, who are just south of zone right now, near to Los Leones, along with Team 24 level 1. So they will need to push upwards north, meaning that they could come into contact with Team 10 and Team 28 DSE. We have Salty Snakes just taking the road past Los Leones, coming in from the western side, just between level 1 Team 30 and level 10, Team 10, sorry. And then Team 16 RPG, Team 5 Riot and Team 11 Little Vlad will also need to move east to make their way to zone, with Team 19 going through red right now in a vehicle, and Team 7 Pen and Team 32 Zen just needing to move east to make their way to zone, and they will then possibly come into contact with Team 12, Team 15 and Team 26. And Little Vlad gets the knock on Reigns, with Goddess trying to come in, using a smoke to get the revive. We now have Reigns and Goddess trying to get into zone by Bike. The zone is doing some damage. And they just managed to stay alive. And Fuji gets a kill on level 1 newbie Trix. And Reigns has just got the bike again as Goddess continues to run to zone. And Riot Mystic gets the knock on Zen Rider. And it now looks as though Reigns might lose the battle to the blue zone. And gets thrown off the bike and knocked by the play zone. Goddess has decided it's too much to risk to try and get a revive, so she is now going to press forward and try and get to zone. The rocky terrain on a Miramar is not the best terrain to use with a motorbike, but at this point in time Goddess does not have any other choice. She is still fighting to get to that zone. The blue zone is doing a lot of damage. It would be so close as to whether she makes it. And she's trying to find as much flat terrain as she possibly can. She's not giving up without a fight, and it will be so close. And she loses the bike again, now applying bandages. But it's just whether she can apply them as fast as the zone takes them. And she's now back on the bike. And I think at this point, she has tried so hard. We are rooting for Goddess to get to that zone. Oh, wow. She's now having to go through La Bendita. And this might be the end of Goddess. And it is, despite her best efforts. She has just been taken by the play zone, as has RPG Lola. And we now have Lance 223 and level 1 Baby Shark going up against Team 7 Pen. Wow, and Lance is taken down by Pencon with M4. Grenades are thrown in. Pendevious is almost knocked and rotating on the right hand side. And that is Lance taken down by Pen Cons there. And Legolas knocks himself with grenade. And manages to kill himself with grenade. Pendevious jumps out on level 1 Baby Shark, and that is it for that level 1 team. So we're now with Team 3 Riot, who are closest to team number 9, Salty Snakes. And Avery gets the knock on Pendevious, and the zone does the rest. 20 gets the knock and kill on Oxmo, as Riot Mystic just takes a little bit of cover behind the wall. And inside the airdrop we have an MK14 level 3 vest and helmet, and Avery gets a knock on Damo. And Avery gets the kills on both Damo and Susan Jacqueline. Fuji is knocked. Ooh. That grenade almost does it for RPG Python, as Avery throws another smoke. Fuji backs off a little to heal up, whilst Avery does the same and now goes up against the blue zone. And Avery gets the kill on RPG Python. So Team number 9 have 12 kills so far. There are only 4 teams left remaining, 6 players alive. 2 for Team 9, 2 for Team 3, and then we have Team 19 and we have Team 12 2. And that is Red Lixie getting the knock on Riot Mystic. Ooh, and Avery trying to get another knock. It'll be a kill this time around as Red Lixie's on his own with an AWM. The aim is just a little bit off. Right, Mystic has spotted them. As Avery fires again. And Red Lixie just jumps down. The Salty Snake's team, the only team in zone. As Red Lixie's taken down by Playzone. Fuji gets a knock on Riot Ghost. As Riot Mystic is low on health, as is. Grenades are now being thrown in. This could be the end for Riot. With Riot on the right side. Molly's coming in. That might be enough. The Mystic manages to move out of the way. And Mystic takes down Fuji. Oh, wow. And the end of game number 2, an incredible finish as Riot Mystic gets the kills on both Avery and Fuji, earning himself a bonus 4 points for doing so. So Riot Mystic and Riot Ghost take first place with 7 kills. We have Salty Snakes in second with 13. We have Red Lixie and Oxmo in third with 1. We have Quani and Knockout in fourth with 1. We have RPG Python and Legolas in fifth with 2. We have Susan Jacqueline and Damo in sixth with none. Pendevious and Pencons in seventh with 4. Lance223 and Level 1 Baby Shark in eighth with none. RPG in ninth with none. Reigns and Goddess in 10th with 1. And Sirius and Little Vlad in 11th with none. If you have enjoyed this stream, please follow the channel with new content added daily. You have been watching the Riot Duo Scrims on Monday, and all that is left for me to say is please take care, stay safe, and we will see you the same time next week. Good night, guys, and thank you very much for watching.